3. Means that if you change the order of addition, here a plus b, it is changed to b plus a. We are changing the order of addition. If we change the order, if you change the order of rational numbers while adding, the sum, it remains the same. For example, 2 by 3 plus 1 by 4. It will be equal to 1 by 4 plus 2 by 3. 2 by 3 plus 1 by 4. LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. So 2 and 3 will get 8 plus 3 equal to 3 plus 8 by 12. Get 11 by 12. It is this side also, right side also 11 by 12. This means that if we change the order of rational numbers while adding, the sum, it remains the same. This is called commutative property of addition. If a and b are two rational numbers, then a into b, it will be equal to b into a. This means that if we change the order of multiplication, here it is a into b, and in the next it is b into a. The order of addition, the order of multiplication is changed. If we change the order of rational numbers while multiplying, the product remains the same. For example, 5 by 7 into 2 by 3. Now you change the order of multiplication. 2 by 3 into 5 by 7. Multiplication of rational numbers. Multiply the denominators. 7 into 3 is 1 to 1. 5 into 2 is 10. 2 into 5 is 10. 3 into 7 is 1 to 1. Left hand side and right hand side, they are equal. This means that if you change the order of rational numbers while multiplying, the product, it remains the same. This is called commutative property of multiplication. Commutative property, it is not true in case of subtraction and division. Subtraction and division, we cannot perform commutative property. Commutative property is not true in case of subtraction and division. The next property is associative property. Associative property. If a, b, and c are three rational numbers, a, b, and c are three rational numbers, then a into b into c it will be equal to a into b bracket into c. This means that if you change the grouping of rational numbers while multiplying, if you change the grouping, here in the first case b and c, it is grouped, but in the next case a and b, it is grouped. If you change the grouping of rational numbers while multiplying, the product remains the same. This is called associative property of multiplication. Associative property of multiplication. If you change the grouping of rational numbers, here b and c, it is grouped, a and b, it is grouped. If you change the grouping of rational numbers while multiplying, the product, it remains the same. For example, 1 by 2 into 1 by 3 into 2 by 4. Let us say 1 by 3 and 2 by 4, it is group. 1 by 2 into 1 by 3, these two are group again. We are changing the grouping of rational numbers into 2 by 4. If we change the grouping of rational numbers while multiplying, the product, it remains the same. Let us see with this example. Whenever there is bracket, we have to simplify the bracket first. 1 by 2 is outside the bracket. Simplify 3 into 4, it is 12. 1 into 2 is 2. So 2 into 3 is 6. 1 into 1 is 1. 2 by 4. 2 into 12 is 24. Sorry, 2 into 12 is 24. And 1 into 2 is 2. The right hand side, 6 into 4 is 24, and 1 into 2 is 2. So left hand side and right hand side, they are equal. This means that if you change the grouping of rational numbers while multiplying, the product, it remains the same. This is called associative property of multiplication. If A, B and C are rational numbers, then A plus B plus C bracket, it is equal to A plus B bracket plus C. This means that if you change the order of grouping, if we change the grouping of rational numbers while adding, the sum, it remains the same. Here B and C, this group, we are changing the grouping of rational numbers. We group the next one, we group B and C. Let us see using example. 4 by 5 is a rational numbers, plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. 1 by 2 and 1 by 3, let us group it. And in the next case, let us change the grouping of rational numbers. 4 by 5 plus 1 by 2. We'll group together, then 1 by 3. Now let us check whether it is true or not. 4 by 5, simplify 2 and 3, LCM is 6. 2 into 3 is 6, 1 into 3 is 3, 3 into 2 is 6, 1 into 2 is 2. LCM of 2 and 5 and 2 is 10. 5 into 2 is 10, 4 into 2 is 8, plus 2 into 5 is 10, 1 into 5 is 5, plus 1 by 3. Now again 4 by 5 plus 5 by 6. 5 by 6. 13 by 10 plus 1 by 3. LCM of 5 and 6 is 30. And 5 into 6. 5 into, how much do you get? 30. 5 into 6 is 30. 4 into 6 is 24. 6 into 5 is 30. 5 into 5 is 25. LCM of 10 and 3 is 30, and 10, 3 or 30, this 13 becomes 39, plus 3 10, so this becomes 10. So 24 plus 25 is 49 by 30. This side also 49 by 30. This means that if you change the grouping of rational numbers while adding, the sum remains the same. This is called associative property of rational numbers, associative property of addition of rational numbers. It is not true in case of division and subtraction. Associative property is not true in case of division and subtraction. If A is additive, the next property, additive identity. If A is a rational number, then A plus 0 will be 0 plus A. Will always give the answer A. This means that if you add 0 to any rational numbers, you will always get the same rational numbers. So here, if you add 0 with A, the answer is A. If you add 0 with A, the answer is A. Here, identity of A is A. When you add 0, the identity remains the same. It is A itself. So 0 is called additive identity of rational numbers. This means that if you add 0 to any rational numbers, you will get the same rational numbers. If you add 0 to any rational numbers, you will get the same rational numbers. For example, 2 by 7. If you add 0 to this rational number, the answer will be 2 by 7 itself. This is called additive identity. 0 is called the additive identity of rational numbers. If you add 0 to any rational numbers, you will always get the same rational numbers. This is called additive identity. The next property is multiplicative identity. If A is a rational number, then A into 1 is same as 1 into A. It is equal to A. This means that if you multiply any rational number with 1, you will always get the same rational number. This is called multiplicative identity. And 1 is called the multiplicative identity of rational numbers. Well, if you multiply any rational number with 1, you'll always get the same rational number. This is called multiplicative identity. 1, it is called the multiplicative identity of rational numbers. For example, if you multiply 2 by 5 with 1, you'll get 2 by 5. Here the identity of this rational numbers 2 by 5, it doesn't change. It is same as 2 by 5. The identity remains the same. This is called multiplicative identity. The next property, additive inverse. Additive inverse of rational numbers. What is meant by additive inverse? For example, if A by B is a rational number, when you add A by B with what number, you get 0. For example, 2 plus what number do you get? 0. It is clear that minus 2. and minus 2 is the opposite of plus 2. So a by b plus minus a by b, it is equal to 0. Here a by b minus a by b, it is the additive inverse of a by b, and a by b, it is the additive inverse of minus a by b. This means that additive inverse, it is the opposite of rational numbers. For example, additive inverse of 6 by 7, additive inverse of 6 by 7, it will be minus 6 by 7 plus 6 by 7, it will be minus 6 by 7. This means that if you add 6 by 7 and plus minus 6 by 7, the answer will be 6 plus minus 6 is 0 by 7. 0 divided by 7 is 0. So 6 by 7, additive inverse of plus 6 by 7 is minus 6 by 7. Additive inverse, it is the opposite or negative of rational numbers. The opposite of a rational numbers, it is called additive inverse. If a by b and c by d are rational numbers, and if the product of these two rational numbers is 1, then each of them, it is a multiplicative inverse of the other. A by b into c by d. If the product of these two rational numbers is 1, each of them, it is called a multiplicative inverse of the other, or the reciprocal of a number. Example, 2 by 5, it is a rational number. If you multiply it what number, the answer is 1. It is clear that 2 by 5 interchange the numerator and denominator, 5 by 2. When you interchange numerator and denominator, you get 5 by 2. 2 and 2 cancel, 5 and 5 cancel, you get 1. So 5 by 2, the multiplicative inverse of 2 by 5 is 5 by 2. It is also called reciprocal. Multiplicative inverse, it is also called reciprocal of a rational number. 2 by 5, the reciprocal of 2 by 5 is 5 by 2. That means multiplicative inverse means interchanging numerator and denominator. Here numerator is 2, denominator is 5. You are interchanging. 5 will come up and 2 will go down. When we interchange the numerator and denominator, we get the multiplicative inverse of a rational number. If a, b and c are three rational numbers, then a into b plus c, it will be equal to ab. A into b plus a into c. A into b is ab. A into c is ac. Here a is distributed over b. A into b, ab. A into c, you will get ac. This is called distributive property of multiplication over addition. And same way, a into b minus c, it is a into b, ab minus a into c, ac. This is called distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. Distributive property. Here A is distributing. A distributes over B and C. A multiply with B plus C. It is same as A multiply with B plus A multiply with C. And this is called distributive property of multiplication. For example, 2 into 3 plus 5. It will be same as 2 into 3, 2 distribute over 3, 2 distribute over 5 plus 2 into 5. 2 bracket 3 plus 5 is 8. When you open the bracket, it means multiply. 3 plus 5 is 8 equal to 2 into 3 6 plus 2 into 5 is 10. 2 8s are 16. 6 plus 10 is 16. So the left hand side and the right hand side, it is equal. This is called distributive property. Distributive property of multiplication over addition. Thank you.